back at it again, and we have a very interesting speech here. Let's dive in.
If we lose freedom in America, there is no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. President Ronald Reagan.
True.
Last spring break, I went on a trip with 100 other Harvard undergraduates to Israel. It was one of the most extraordinary experiences of my life, and I will always be grateful to Harvard for that. I recalled the trip with awe and joy, but a certain moment rattled me. Our group attended a Shabbat dinner at a Tel Aviv synagogue. The rabbi proclaimed, "Welcome to Israel. You are all here from America, the best country in the world." He paused, but not a single person clapped. The Israelis stared in disbelief. Americans are the freest, most privileged people on earth. Yet many of us are ashamed to show any, even the tiniest trace of national pride. Why? Because we Americans of recent generations have been swaddled in prosperity and security, and in consequence have become ungrateful for the blessings we enjoy.
Also, I think part of society here in America tries to shame you for feeling proud to be American or displaying being proud to be an American, as if they don't live in America. And it's wild to me. It's pretty backwards. But also, I think it's due in part to us Americans kind of living in our own box, right? We don't truly see what's going on around in the rest of the world. The world knows what's going on here. And I've talked to several of you guys. Everybody knows what's happening here. Everybody. We don't really pay too much attention about what's going on here and over there, and or even have their news running on our televisions. I talked to you guys in several different countries, and you said that you guys have news. Other countries have U.S. news running on their TV stations. U.S. news. I've never seen, news from Spain, or I'm just throwing out a random place, running on, U.S. television. You don't see that. But I think that's part of the issue. We don't truly see how bad things are. And I'm not trying to say Spain is a horrible, terrible place, but just in general, how bad things can be in other places. We don't really see that. So like she said, we've lived in such a privileged time that we've kind of become ungrateful, I think is the best kind of term for the opportunities and the freedom that we have. And I think some of these folks need to visit places like Venezuela, need to go over to places like Cuba, China, and see what life could actually be. And then I think they'll have a better appreciation for America. But yeah, what do y'all think? Let me know.
It requires vigorous athletic imagination for most of us to consider the basic brutal realities that much of the world experiences daily. Even worse, we have consumed a cultural diet that reduces America to its ugliest moments and dismisses its noble ideals and accomplishments as jingoism. This nation saved the world from global catastrophe 3 times in the 20th century. This nation has grown to treat racial, ethnic, and religious minorities with equality and respect compared to other places and times on earth. This is the nation where people are not constrained by their gender, religion, or class, but can work to achieve a better life. In this nation, we can criticize our government, secure in the knowledge that we will rise the next morning and our country will still respect our rights.
Preach. Talk to them. People are so ungrateful, so hateful, or want to be so hateful. They're willing to give up their own rights to turn us into these other places, because I don't think they truly know how bad some of these other places really are. They couldn't imagine. Yeah, okay, go over to some of these other countries and speak bad about their government. I'll see you in the next life. You will cease to exist. You can speak about the government here. I can voice my displeasure with the current administration. Anybody can. Everybody can. Go try that in some of these other countries. See if you wake up tomorrow. See if you don't come up missing. You know what? You try that, and I'll just leave you with this message. I'll see you in the next life. Tell them, sister, please.
We will rise the next morning, and our country will still respect our rights.
Yep.
We view these things to be our birthright, our permanent and guaranteed condition, but they are not.
Nope.
They exist only because past generations have sacrificed to secure and maintain them.
Right here.
And to our discredit, we have used these blessings not to strengthen our country, but to tear it down.
So backwards. And I'm glad she pointed that out. The same things that make America great, people have used those very same things to tear it apart. Freedom of speech. Because you are allowed to say what you want to, people use that ability to tear this country apart. Does that even make any sense? This country's so great, it gives me freedom of speech, but hey, it's trash. It is completely terrible. I hate this place. We need to, huh? But the fact that you live in this place allows you to say something like that. Because if you lived in some of these other places, no.
We members of this university and we Americans have shirked our responsibility as the most privileged cohort on earth. We have remained cringingly silent in the face of corrosive ideas, woke culture, that has corrupted our institutions and severed the bonds that hold our country together. The New York Times won a Pulitzer Prize for reporting that the sole purpose of the American Revolution was to preserve slavery. And we remain silent. The Oregon Department of Education asserts that showing your work and finding the right answer in math is white supremacist. And we remain silent.
Hold on, wait, what?
The Education asserts that showing your work and finding the right answer in math is white supremacist. And we...
Can somebody explain the connection there? I'm not even about to try to understand it, but yeah. Somebody explain that one, please, in the comment section.
Remain silent. The American Medical Association has stated that the U.S. should remove gender from birth certificates. And we remain silent. Howard Zinn, the author of the most widely read history text in American public schools, said that America has done, quote, more bad than good. And we remain silent.
All right. No.
Huge percentage of the donations to the National Black Lives Matter organization have been spent on compensation and benefits, including several extravagant real estate purchases.
Put them on Front
and
Street.
Questionable consulting contracts.
Yes, ma'am.
And we remain silent. On this campus, we often hear how oppressive America is. Just outside of this church, there was a sign for Israeli Apartheid Week of an upside-down, faded American flag with painted bullet holes in it. And we remain silent. We must not lie to ourselves or to one another.
Before she continues on, I just have this one thing to say. And I know this is going to be controversial. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to hate me for saying this, but I don't care because at this point, it has gotten ridiculous. It has gone over the top. If America is so terrible of a place, if it is that bad, if it is hell on earth, why do you continuously live in hell? I'm asking. I continually hear, and she's pointing it out too, how bad America is. Oh man, it's such a terrible white supremacy and blah, 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 and this and that. And oh man, why do you still live here? Why? Answer that. I mean, we have neighbors right to the north. Justin Trudeau, I mean, he banned all weapons. You can't use any weapons to shoot anybody. Must be great up there. That's exactly what, a lot of folks were calling for here. Let's ban assault weapons. Justin Trudeau did that right up north. I'm sure that they will accept citizens. I'm sure they will. Our Mexican neighbors to the south, take a trip. Cuba's not far off the coast. There's lots of places you can go. If I'm living in hell, I'm getting out. So my question to anybody who seriously thinks, and this is a genuine question, And I think it's a question we should be asking everyone here in America. If you feel America is so terrible, why do you live here? Is it perfect? No, of course not. But if there is a perfect place on earth, why don't you live there? I'm just asking. Just asking. I'm not saying that we should just be kicking out folks or we don't accept folks or nothing like that. But if it's so bad, why do you stay? Let me know in the comment section, please. Or anybody who thinks they know the answer to why some people feel that way. Let me know in the comment section. I'm genuinely curious. Let's have a conversation. If you feel that way, let's have a conversation about it. That's what this is all about. Let's talk about it.
By denying that we must not lie to ourselves or to one another, by denying that a large reason that we remain silent is that we see personal and professional advantages in doing so. We are ashamed to be American. The shame should be on us. The people who excoriate religion live in a society where their freedoms are based on teachings in the Bible. Many who say that the nuclear family is antiquated grew up in two-parent households. Those who condemn the police as oppressive still summon them when they are in danger. And too many use their right to free speech to advocate suspending it for all who disagree with them. What a litany of dishonesty.
I don't even need to say
We are
anything.
using our privilege to undermine the very system that has given us that privilege. America, despite its failings, is the last great stand on earth. We must speak up against this now, or our civilization will face a somber reckoning. As President Reagan said, if not us, who? If not now, when? Thank you.
It's time we take a stand. If not us, then who? And if not now, then when? When it's too late? When we've allowed these people who hate America so much but still live here to just tear it apart? Is it then? Or do we do it now? The time is now, in my humble opinion. But like I said, is America perfect? Absolutely not. America has had its shortcomings, just like every other place on this earth. I hear people bring up slavery all the time. And yes, that was a horrible, terrible thing and situation. But you also have to take into account other places had slavery. In fact, just about every place on this planet has had slavery. And some places, I'm not going to say names, but I've seen, I've come across at least one video that was showing some very questionable things. Slavery still exists, but nobody cares about that. It's only because it happened here in America. America's so terrible, so bad, it's so trash, it's just terrible place. So yeah, it is really, really backwards how people complain but stay, but also how people use their freedom of speech to tear down freedom of speech. It was just so crazy to me. And then you have examples around this world that you can look to that would tell you where we or what we would look like if we headed in this direction. And also people coming from these very same countries that are telling you they lied to us and they are lying to you now. Do not listen to them. I jumped at the opportunity to leave the place that I was living in, and I don't want to go back. They lied to us. And yet you still have people pushing for it. I'm just lost. I'm lost. But as always, like I said, let's have a conversation about it. Let's be respectful. If you hate America, let me know in the comment section. I want to talk to you. I seriously do, and understand why you hate America, and also why is it that you still live in America? You have the freedom to leave. You have the freedom to move about as you please. That's the great part about this nation. But talk to me. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button if you're new. Peace and love. I'm out.